I really fell in love with the culture there, the food, the people. 한국에 정이 많아요.
정이 많아요.
많아요.
Do you know about 정? 여러분 안녕하세요. 반갑습니다. 오늘은 저희 여기 샌프란시스코에 와 있어요. 네, 그리고 오늘 특별한 분을 모셨거든요. Very nice to meet you.
만나서 반갑습니다. 내 이름은 빅입니다. Toi Labs 대표입니다. 한국어로 조금 할 수 있습니다. 아직 잘 못해요.
네.
반가워요?
You have a really strong connection with Korea, right? That's what I heard. Let's start from there.
I actually first went to Korea when I was in college. So I was studying at the time and setting up conferences in Asia. And that was my first exposure to Korea. And I must say, I really fell in love with the culture there, the food, the people. 한국에 정이 많아요.
정이 많아요.
많아요.
Do you know about 정?
Yes. And so I have some really great friends in Korea. I've been able to maintain connections in Korea. I really love working with Koreans.
I heard that you met Korean president and were invited to Blue House. Actually, I had a chance to meet the president, one of the really important people, but tell us more about that.
You know, that was a very fortunate experience. Yeah. I was a student at Harvard, and some of my classmates were able to set up a meeting for this conference that we had with Kim Young-sam.
Oh, Kim Young-sam.
Kim Young-sam.
대통령.
It was great. You know, he gave us all watches, all of the students, and I went away feeling, wow, this was a great experience.
You started your own business. I'm just wondering how you started your business. You were majoring in economics.
Yeah, I concentrated in economics. I also took a number of computer science classes. I was quite interested in what was going on in the internet field. And so right after I graduated, I moved to Silicon Valley. I was actually going to be a software engineer, and I ended up getting a job working at, believe it or not, a venture capital firm. And so I spent a lot of time meeting with CEOs and founders of companies really to identify companies to invest in. And that was a great experience for me. But I've always known from a very young age that I was going to want to try to build something of my own. And so it was a great experience.
Did you invest a lot in healthcare industry?
I got more interested, to be very frank, in healthcare due to my own personal experiences, particularly with the US health system. I felt like there was a lot of room to create improvement in the American health system. And so I decided to really focus on that area, in particular, things that can help consumers with the way that they engage with healthcare.
Can you share your experience?
No, I actually started another a company after that experience at the VC firm in Silicon Valley. So I actually built a company that whose customers were very large health insurance companies and banks. And what we were doing is we had built essentially a payment system that could help consumers better manage how they spend for healthcare. And I think what I'm most proud about that experience is that our product today is used by millions of Americans to manage what are called their health savings accounts and other types of account-based healthcare products.
So how did you transition from that payment system to the current startup?
I believe that there's a lot of changes that are happening in healthcare, and that the future of healthcare is moving much more to the home. So it's moving out of clinical settings and into more personal settings. And so a lot of those observations and motivations are what drove me to start my current company. The other thing is I have a personal digestive issue. Due to frustration with the existing treatments, I actually invented my own treatment for this. And then through that experience in my free time, I actually co-authored a paper in Science about this treatment. So it was that experience that actually led me to the realization that human beings, at the end of the day, we are systems.
Right.
You know, we put things into our body and things come out of our body. But today there's no convenient, cost-effective way from a home setting to be able to understand our output. And that was really the key insight and my own personal experience that led me to start Toi Labs.
Our audience is Korean, students and university, as well as people who want to start their own business. So, would you give us advice?
That's a good question. And one thing I do see is that Korea is definitely it's got a growing presence in the world. So I think there's a growing recognition, and this has only happened in the last 10 years, that Korea is a place where great technology is built. Korea is beginning to be seen as more of a force in the technology world. If you can really leverage what maybe are the competitive advantages of coming from Korea, those are perhaps the areas where startups can really grow and develop. Korea and Koreans should really leverage the strengths and the perception of Korea as being kind of best in the world.
That's really great news. Our audience is Korean students and Korean people who want to get a job in the world. So, do you think do we have a chance to work at your company too?
Absolutely. I would welcome any interest. Please send me an email to vic@toylabs.com. And I'd be happy to have a conversation.
Actually, this channel not only introduces the startups and new companies, but also actually make a bridge between employees and employers. So, are you okay if we actually recruit people for you guys?
I would love that. I'd be delighted. We're looking to expand our Korean operations and work with more Korean people. We actually have some people in the company who are partners and employees who are Korean, and we'd love to continue to have more dialogue.
Yeah, that's really great. PD님들 들으셨나요? 지원하십시오. 네네.